Okay, last meeting, last course, we also already talked about how to find nodes inside the network. So the third step is how to find node inside the network. So after we create a link, we connect the link, and now after all the link has been connected together, the problem is how to find the node that we want to communicate with. So to solve this problem, the scientist, the engineer create the protocol that called TCP/IP. Okay. Last course, asynchronously, I already give the material about the protocol. The protocol is set how to regulate the communication. So, to enable to find the nodes between the jumble-mumble, the forest of the network, we are using TCP/IP protocol. How to find? Okay, the internet, the capital one or the small one, is actually divided or organized into system that called autonomous system. Organized into system that called the autonomous system, or AS for short. So inside the autonomous system exist networks. So the internet is organized hierarchically. So the top level is autonomous system. Inside the autonomous system, there are networks. Inside the networks, there are subnetworks or subnets for short. And inside the subnetwork, if needed, there are subnetwork. And so on until the last or member of the organization in the hierarchy is the nodes or the host. Is the nodes or the host. Okay, so this is the picture of the organization of internet. So internet is actually consists of many autonomous systems. Inside the autonomous system, there are some networks. Inside subnetwork, there are subnetwork. Inside subnetwork, there are subnetwork. Inside subnetwork, there is a subnetwork, and so on until inside the subnetwork there is a host or a nodes. We can analog the autonomous system as a country. So it called the autonomous system because all the system is autonomous, just like a country, Every autonomous system cannot affect other autonomous system. So one autonomous system is a very independent system. They can manage, they can regulate the network by themselves, independently, not dependent to other, just like a country. But just like a country, actually in real life, some country dependent on other country. So some autonomous system actually depend to other autonomous system. But theoretically, autonomous system is self-sufficient, independent network system. That's why it's called the autonomous system. So autonomous system, just a country, actually a big network. Majority of country is big. Few anomalies. And autonomous system is consists of large network or group of networks. This is the characteristic of autonomous system, has unified routing policy. So one autonomous system has one unified routing policy. So, to differentiate between autonomous system to other autonomous system, it has different unified routing policy. So, one autonomous system has one unified routing policy. So, every computer on the device connects to the internet by you connect to the autonomous system. Just like everybody in the world at least have one country. At least have one country. Some country permit multiple nationality, but in autonomous system there are no such thing. There are no multiple nationality. Every node must be a member of one autonomous system. So this is the organization of internet. So actually the world is consists of many autonomous systems. Where each autonomous system is independent. It has the right to regulate the routing policy inside their system without affected by other autonomous system. Theoretically. So, in real world, the number of autonomous system is much higher than the number of the country. For example, our university, ITS, has its own autonomous system. So, we are, the ITS, is independent country in the internet. We are independent country in the internet. The ITS itself. We have our autonomous system. So, whenever you want to connect, from example, from one autonomous system to other autonomous system, you have go to the autonomous system and then let the autonomous system to route to the target autonomous system. For example, you want to connect from here to here, then the autonomous system will send to this autonomous system, send to this autonomous system, send to this autonomous system, and then reach the targeted autonomous system. Then the autonomous system here will send the packet to the target. So you can analog the autonomous system as the main post office of each country. So when you want to send a mail, a letter from Indonesia to USA, for example, then the main post office of Indonesia will send to the nearest until it reaches the USA, and then the post office, the main post office in the USA, will send the letter to the intended recipient, the intended target. So the data that will send from the sender to the recipient will hopping travel from autonomous system to autonomous system until reach the targeted autonomous system. using the IP address. So to uniquely identify the target, we are using something that called IP address, Internet Protocol Address. So the router between autonomous system will send to the nearest autonomous system. And then after the data or the packet reach the targeted autonomous system, then the router inside the autonomous system will send the packet to the IP address intended. Send to the host where the IP address intended located. So, every autonomous system will control a specific set of IP address. So, for example, our autonomous system, ITS autonomous system, have a two set. So, it can be more than one set, but specific set, which is 202, sorry, I don't remember the exact. Let me search first. Actually, we can find the autonomous system of our Okay. So this is so there are two set 202.46.129/24. So /24 meaning it's between 0 to 35, and this is 103.24. This is our ISN number. We will talk about ISN number in a minute. So this is the owner, IPSAS ID, Institut Teknologi 10 November, Indonesia. This is our IP address set. This is our IP address set. We have two IP address set. Okay. Back to the AS, autonomous system. Typically, each autonomous system is operated by a single large organization. So large organization meaning it has more than 1,000 hosts inside the network. And because here in ETS we in the peak we host about 3,000 hosts. So we are categorized as a large network. Usually the organization is the ISP, a large enterprise or a government agency. Large enterprise, a university or a government agency. So because we are university, we are categorized as the large network. Not many company has more than 1,000 hosts inside the network. So only large enterprise or technology company or government agency or the university has that kind of network. IP address space. What is IP address space? IP address space is specific group or range of IP address. So our IP address space is grouped from this address to this address, from this address to this address. So range, it can be specific IP or can be range IP address. Also called as a IP block, IP address block, where each autonomous system control certain amount of IP address. So this IP address, this range IP address cannot be controlled by other autonomous system. This is our privileged access. This is our rights to control this address. Suppose Acme company operates autonomous system and have address range that include the address of 192.0.2.253. If the computer inside that network wants, if computer outside of the network wants to send to that address to 192 .0.2.253, the packet will eventually reach the AS that controlled by the Acme company. And if the sending computer also sending the same packet to the 198.51.100.255, then the packet will go to a different autonomous system. So it will go to two different autonomous systems. One to the Acme company autonomous system, and the other will go to the owner of this address. Although they may be passed through the Acme company autonomous system. It may be. The routing policy, so every autonomous system has unified routing policy. Has unified routing policy. So every autonomous system has a unified routing policy. What is routing policy? Okay. Routing policy actually is list of IP address space. List of IP address space that controlled by that AS. That controlled by that autonomous system. And plus list of the other autonomous systems where it connects, where the autonomous system connect. So all this information, the list of IP address and the list of other AS that connected directly to the AS, is necessary to routing the packet to the correct network. So the AS, like I said before, will send the packet to the next AS. To the next AS. The next AS is the AS that directly connected to this AS. So the AS must maintain the list where do I connected directly. The list of the AS that connected directly to this AS also may include in the routing policy. And then AS will announce the information, the routing policy between AS. So the neighbor AS know, oh, I'm connected to this AS. Oh, I'm connected to this AS. And so on. Using the protocol that called the BGP or Border Gateway Protocol. So the BGP is special protocol that used by the AS, by the autonomous system, to trading information about its routing policy. So I will announce to my neighbor, I have this address space. So if you receive the packet for this address space, please give it to me. And then I will give the packet to the intended recipient. To talk this information to the neighbor, the AS use the BGP, the Border Gateway Protocol. So the BGP is the protocol that used by AS, by autonomous system, to exchange the information about its routing policy. So the BGP is the protocol for routing data packets between autonomous systems. So without the information of the routing policy or the AS, the internet become impractical because the data will be sent to everywhere. So for example, I want to send data from Indonesia to America, to USA. Then the data will be broadcast to everywhere because I don't know where USA is. I just send to the Singapore, to the Malaysia, to the Australia, to the UK, to the France, to every, because I don't know where the America is or where the USA connected to. With the AS, and the BGP, we know exactly where to send. So the packet will send directly to the intended recipient. It will be prevent the data get lost and the data packet too long to reach the destination, because it will go to the shortest path, possible to reach the destination. Without BGP, the IP packet will be bounced around the internet randomly because the packet do not know where the IP address is reside. Where is the IP address is reside? We cannot use the number IP address as a reference because this has a non-contiguous space 103 to 02. There is many uncontiguous space, and all the value between these two is not within ITS. So if you assume that because the ITS is 103 and 202, then if 105 must be between ITS. No. That cannot be assumed. It can be that 105 is on other country. It can be on Africa. It can be on China. It can be on Japan. We don't know. Without AS, without BGP. But because there are BGP, the AS can exchange the routing policy. Remember, the routing policy contains the IP address space. So I will inform to my neighbor, I have this IP address set. So if you receive packet to this address, please give it to me. So the packet will not go anywhere randomly. With the BGP, each autonomous system will announce which IP addresses they are responsible for and which other access they can connect to. And each router inside the AS that called BGP router, each router inside the autonomous system, this router is special router called the BGP router, because this router must be able to talk using BGP protocol. Will take the information from other AS and create a routing tables. So it will create a routing tables. So whenever packets arrive, BGP router will refer to the routing table. Oh, this is packet for this address. So I have to send to which AS, depending on the routing table. With so many AS in the world, so like I said before, the number of autonomous system is much higher than the number of the country. The BGP router are constantly updating the routing tables. And if a network go offline, new networks come online, the new AS, the AS, all the remaining AS, all the remaining autonomous systems will expand or contract the IP address space. And all of this information has to be announced to other AS using the BGP. So the BGP routers in each AS can adjust their routing tables. So for example, if for example something happened, this network is down. So we will announce, our BGP router will announce to other AS, if you receive this packet, please hold. This is not exist anymore. And vice versa. For example, we are adding more IP range. We are adding more IP range. For example, we are adding 118.90.100. Blah blah blah. Then our BGP router will announce, if you receive this address, please give it to me. Using the BGP, the Border Gateway Protocol. Each autonomous system assign official number, so to identify, to make sure each autonomous system is unique, to make sure that each autonomous system is unique, each autonomous system are assigned a unique identification number called the ASN or AS number, autonomous system number. An AS has to meet a certain qualification before the governing bodies assign the ASN. So, you cannot just create a company and ask, I want to create my autonomous system. Please give me AS number. No. You must meet a certain qualification. And the governing body will examine, will review your qualification. If you are qualified, then they will assign a number for you. They will assign a number for you. One of the qualification is your autonomous system must be unique. Meaning, remember, what's differentiate between one autonomous system with other autonomous system? What is the characteristic that differentiate between one autonomous system with other autonomous system? The unified routing policy. So every autonomous system must have different unified routing policy. So the qualification, one of the qualification is you must have distinct routing policy. Distinct means no autonomous system has same routing policy. So you must have unique routing policy. No autonomous system has the same routing policy with your proposed autonomous system. I said propose because the governing body will review. Is that your autonomous system will be given ISN or not? Second qualification, second criteria is certain size. So you must be a large network. Like I said, must consist more than 1000 nodes. If you only have, for example, less than 500 nodes, you will not be given ISN. And the last criteria is have more than one connection to other autonomous system. So you cannot be the only one. You cannot be the host of AS. Remember, the host is where the connection ends. So the connection ends on your AS. No, you cannot be. All AS must be connected to each other and connect to more than one other autonomous system. So if one of your connection fail, your autonomous system still can be reached by other connection. The problem is why they have to meet some criteria before they will give you IS number, because there are limited number of ISN. So the number of AS number is limited. So it can be given away, just given away. And if the number is run out, then the routing can become much more complex. The governing body that have rights to assign the ISN is called the IANA, Internet Assigned Number Authority. The IANA will assign a block of ISN, a range of ISN. For example, for number 10,000 to number 12,000 will be assigned to a regional section. So from the number we can know which region the ISN reside. The regional body is called the Regional Internet Registries, or RIR. RIR. Then every organization that wants to apply the ISN, must apply to the RIR, the registers, Regional Internet Registries. So they cannot apply directly to the IANA, but they have to apply to the RIR. Then the RIR will assign one of its block number, block ISN, to the organization if they meet the qualification. For your information, the IANA, the Internet Assigned Number Authority, is part of Internet Corporation for Assigned Name and Number, or ICANN. So this is a body that part of the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Number. So the ICANN is the body that assign the domain name. Similar to the ISN, the ICANN will also assign a block of name to the regional bodies. For example, in Indonesia, we have PANDI, pemegang akun nama domain Indonesia, which is a regional governing body for names in Indonesia, for domain names in Indonesia. So every entity that wishes to receive an ISN must complete the application process of their RIR and then to the local internet registries or LIR or the upstream service provider and be approved before being assigned of ISN. So for example, to simplify process, for example, we are not apply directly to the RIR, but we apply to the upstream provider, which is we are using PT Telkom. So we are apply to the PT Telkom, and then the PT Telkom will apply to the local internet registries and so on. After that, then we are assigned through PT Telkom, and PT Telkom will assign it to us. If you want to look the current ISN assignment, so who own the number 1000, who own the number 10,000, who own the number of 20,000, you can look at the IANA website. If for some reason you fail after you given the ISN, but you fail to maintain your qualification, for example, for some reason you must have at least 2 connection to the neighbor, and for some reason one connection is down indefinitely, RIR can revoke your ISN because it judges you cannot meet the qualification anymore. If they judge you cannot meet the qualification, then they can revoke your IS number. The IANA also maintains some range of ISN that reserve. Reserve meaning cannot be used by any organization. So there is some IS number that reserve for private use. What is private use? Meaning do not announce to the global internet. So this number can only be used internally, cannot be used in the public internet. Until 2007, IS number were defined as a 16-bit integers. So because it only use 16-bit integer, the number will be from 0 to 65535. 65,535. From 0 to 65535. 16 bit, because only 16 bit. At that time, that number is deemed to be enough, because the number of country only 120 something. So 95,000 number is more than enough. But because the internet is growing rapidly, now the applicants of the ISN is more than 95,000. So after 2007, the IANA began to upgrade the ISN into 32-bit integer, which is now become from 0 to 4 billion something. And because right now the number of the people on the planet Earth is more than 7 billion, already more than 7 billion. And because the qualification of the ISN must be more than 1,000 hosts, 4 billion still deemed enough. So there is no plan to upgrade the ISN into 64-bit in the near future. There is no plan in the near future. ISN preferably is write as a simple integer, just like our ISN. This is write as a simple integer, 38331. This number suggests, because the number is less than this one, that number suggests that we are already have the ISN number before 2007. Because after 2007, the number upgrade into 32-bit. After 2007. And because our number is less than this number, meaning that we already have the number before 2007. Alternatively, Alternatively, we can also use the dot system like IP address. We can also use the dot system where the ISN will write as x dot y. This is called the AS dot plus, where x is 16-bit and y is 16-bit. This is preferably used for the 32-bit AS number. If 16-bit AS number is used, then the x will be 0. So, for example, our AS number will be 0.38661. Because we are using 16-bit, still 16-bit. Then the first will be 0. This is preferably used for system that already use the 32-bit address, 32-bit number. So, if still using the 16-bit, will be write as 0 dot blah blah blah. So, for example, Cloudflare AS number is 13335. AS 13335. So, also mean this is old AS number, 16-bit. Like I said before, there are some address that reserved, meaning that cannot be used as normal AS number. One of the reserved address is 23456. 23456. Which is also AS trans. 23456 is address that given that used to replace the 32-bit address for old BGP router. So the BGP router that manufactured before 2007 can only handle 16-bit AS number. Can only handle 16-bit AS number. And there are still many organizations use that kind of router. Many organizations still use the old BGP router. To maintain compatibility with this router, the reserved address 23456 is used. So whenever the router see the address 23456, the router will assume that this is only placebo. So this is only a token flag that the actual address is in 32-bit form, not in 16-bit form. So we have to query the real address. So this is only a sign, only a flag given to the router that the actual AS number is 32-bit, not 16-bit. So the old router still can read that. 23456 is a special address that function as a signal, function as a flag to inform the router that the actual AS number is 32-bit number, not the 16-bit number. And not all the AS number can be assigned to the entity. There are some value or range of value that reserved for other purpose. Also some other value for other purpose. For example, the AS number 0, AS0, is used by all the RIR to invalidate an allocated space. So, if the assigned number is 0, it means that the address already invalid or revoked. So, the AS0, AS number 0, is used by the RIR to invalidate an allocated space. So, this address before belong to some organization, now unallocated because the organization failed to meet the qualification. It will assign the address 0. Okay, this is the detail of the AS number space. So we can see 0 resolve. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 through 3, 4, 5, 5 can be assigned to the public. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 resolve. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 until 6, 4, 4, 95 is public. 9, 4, 4, 6, 4, 4, 9, 6 to 6, 4, 4, 9, 6 to 6, 4, 5, 1, 1 is reserved for documentation and the sample code. So if you are router developer, you are developing software for the router developer, you can test your code, is it working or not using this address. So 64496 to 64511 can be used. 65535 is reserved. 65535 is reserved. And then 65536 until 65551 also reserved for documentation and sample code for 32-bit router. So before, this is for 16-bit router. The 64496 to 64511 is for 32-bit router, but for 16-bit router. But 65536 until 65551 is reserved for 32-bit router. And then 65552 until the 131071 is also reserved. Cannot be used. And then beginning from 131072 until 419999999 can be used by public. Can be assigned to organization. And then the 420000 to 429496 7294 reserved for the private use, and the last address similar to this. This is the last address. This is the last address also. This is the last address for 16-bit. This is the last address for 32-bit. Also reserved, cannot be used. The number of unique autonomous system exceed 5,000 in 1999, more than 3,000 in late 2008, 35,000 in middle 2010, 42,000 in late 2012, 54,000 in middle 2016, and 6,000 in early 2018. The last survey is March 2021, is more than 100,000, highest number. So it's much larger, much higher than the number of the country. But 32 bits still dim enough. The autonomous system number also has been evolved. Originally, the AS required to control by a single entity, typically an ISP, or very large organization with independent connection to multiple network. So the requirement you must have connection to multiple network, more than one. Multiple meaning more than one. Can be 2, can be 3, can be 4, etc. The important thing is more than one. That adhere to the single and clearly defined routing policy. Single and clearly defined must be unique routing policy. In March 1996, the newer definition, so the update definition, came into use because multiple organizations can run BGP using private ISN to an ISP that connects all the organizations to the internet. So, because they are running the private ISN, because the ISP has a limited number of ISN assigned by the local internet registry, the ISP assign the private ISN. Just like we are here in IPS, we are using private IP. So if you look at your IP address, your address will be 10 something something. So for example, okay, this is my IP address 10.183.253.96. We will study about this later. I will inform you now that 10 dot something dot something dot something is private address. This address cannot be accessed in the internet. So whenever I access the internet, the address will be masked by something different. So if I look at the internet, my IP address actually is this one. So what my IP address? I got this IP address. So whenever I access the internet, I will given this IP address. And you can also have the same address as me. So this is the public address, but this is the private address. The actual address of my computer is this one, private. But whenever I want to browse the internet, the BGP router in the ITS will assign a different address as a public address, which is fall in the BGP address set, which is this one. So our address set is from 103.94.188.0 to 103.94.192.255, and my address is 190.3. So this is between 188 to 192. So meaning that this address belong to our ISN. So if you browse what my IP address, you can see that your IP address is not 10 dot something something, but actually 103.24 dot something something. But if you look at your adapter setting, then your IP address is this one. This is the DNS server address. So 202.46.129.2. So also belong in here because 202.49.126.0 until .255 is on our IS number. So meaning that the server is also in ITS, autonomous system. And so this address. And because the organization can given private AS number from the ISP, the connection to that organization seem only one. So by the view of the internet IS number, only one connection exists to the target autonomous system. But actually it can be more than one because the connection are using the virtual IS number. So the private IS number. Because of this reason, then the requirement to have multiple connection is listed. So autonomous system can only have one connection to the neighbor. Can only have one connection. So it's not mandatory to have multiple connection. At least one connection must be exist. Because the organization can have many connections, but they connect using the private IS number that cannot be seen from the internet. So even though there might be multiple connections support the ISP, the internet only see the ISP routing policy because we are connect using the private IS number. But it can be tolerated if the ISP that used by the organization have officially registered ISN. So if the ISP does not have officially registered ISN, it will not be counted as a single connection. So many local ISP is actually retail from the bigger ISP. And this local retail ISP usually do not have their own IS number. They just follow the IS number from their bigger ISP that they retail from. So, for example, many ISP in Indonesia, usually local ISP, lease the bandwidth from the Telkom or from the Lintasarta. These local ISP usually do not have their own IS number. So if you look up the IP of that provider, the ISP, the IP will show that it's belong to the ISP that they retail from, they lease the bandwidth from. So for example, they lease the bandwidth from the Telkom. If you look up the IP address is belong to the IS number of Telkom. If you list the bandwidth from the Lintasarta, if you look up the IP address is belong to IS number of Lintasarta. That connection does not count. The connection that connect, if your organization connect to the ISP that do not have its own IS number, that connection does not count as a single connection. There are some types of autonomous system exist. So first type is called the multi-home IS number. The multi-home IS number, just as name suggests, this autonomous system is connected to more than one other autonomous system. This is why they call multi-home. They have more than one connection to other autonomous system. The multi-home autonomous system allow the system to remain connected even complete failure of one of its connection. So even the connection is failure, complete failure, still can be connected to the internet. However, Unlike the transit IS number, we will talk about transit IS number later. The multi-home IS number will not allow traffic to pass from one AS to other. So multi-home, it has many connections, but the connection is private. Not private in the sense of the private IS number, but private meaning that nobody can enter my IS, my autonomous system, unless the target is within my routing policy. So the traffic cannot pass through me. So for example, this is Telkom AS, this is ITS AS, for example. We are connect to, for example, Indosat. And this is connect to other network, blah blah blah. This is connect to other network, blah blah blah. This is connect to the internet. So the traffic to our network can be flow from here to here, or can be flow from here to here. But because ITS is multi-home, not transit, if this is cut off for some other reason, this is cut off, the traffic cannot be flow to Indosat from here. No. The traffic that can be flow to ITS only and if only the target recipient is inside the ITS. In this case, if the target recipient is Indosat, not in ITS, the traffic cannot pass through the ITS system. No. So this is private route, not public route. Only traffic to the ITS can flow to the ITS. If the traffic is to Indosat, then it cannot be flow to the ITS. This is called the multi-home. If ITS allow the traffic from outside to the Indosat through the ITS, then the ITS must be change the type into the transit, not the multi-home. Next type of the IS number is the stub. The stub meaning that the IS system function like a host, meaning that for example, the PPNS connect to the ITS. This is stub. Only one connection exists. So the connection to this AS doesn't flow to anywhere. Cannot flow to anywhere. This is stub. Stub autonomous system. If in network, it is called host. If the connection is stopped on that node, the node is called host. And the last is the transit autonomous system. Transit autonomous system has more than one connection, and it allows traffic to pass through that autonomous system to flow. So it acts like a router. So in the network, it's node that called router. Remember, in the network, two kind of node, router or host. If IP transit, if the transit AS transit, then the AS act like a router. It will allow the traffic flow through this autonomous system. So in that case, for example, the connection from internet to the Indosat is down. The Indosat can receive the packet that flow through the Telkom to the ITS and then to the Indosat. This type of AS is called the AS transit. Autonomous system transit. The next is the IXP. IXP actually is a physical infrastructure through which ISP or content delivery network CDNs exchange the internet traffic between their networks. So this is a special AS that function as a transit to local autonomous system. Usually the IXP is a group of local ISP that band together to exchange the data by splitting the cost of local network to avoid the higher cost of transit autonomous system. So for example, like here, the Telkom has its own connection to the internet, and the Indosat also has its own connection to internet. If, for example, we don't have this one, then any customer of Indosat who wants to access the ITS must be travel from here to the internet, blah 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 blah, and then come to here. And this will incur higher cost because Indosat have to pay this one, the backbone provider, and then the backbone provider will pay the internet provider, and so on and so on. To avoid this one, to avoid this scenario, some ISP band together, create a single AS called the IXP. Single AS, single autonomous system, created by some ISP. So for example, there is a XL here. So instead of traffic flow through the internet to come to the Telkom and reach the ITS, the traffic can be rerouted from Indosat here directly to the ISP to the Telkom, which is this cost much cheaper than flowing to the internet. The cost of maintaining the IS number, the IXP, usually shared between all the ISP connected to the IXP. So ISP connected to IXP. Usually many local provider connect to the IXP to cut down the cost for local transport. And because the locality principle meaning that 80% of the traffic usually local. 80% of the traffic usually local. If you are browsing to internet, usually you are browsing to Indonesian site. So the IXP can cut costs significantly. In Indonesia, the IXP is called IIX, Indonesia Internet Exchange. IXP in Indonesia called the IIX, Indonesia Internet Exchange, where all the provider has a connection to the IIX, so they can reroute the local traffic through the IIX. Besides cutting the cost of transferring data, the IXP also cut the transfer time, so significantly cutting the delay. Because the routing now much simpler. The routing is much simpler. As long as the traffic local, traffic can be directed directly to the target AS autonomous system through the IXP. No need to go to the internet. Every autonomous system can be included in one or more autonomous system set. Usually, autonomous system set is created by the network operator in an Internet Routing Registry or IRR. Like other root object and can be included in other AS set and even form a cycle. So for example, set 1 contain a set 2 and set 2 contain a set 1. It's okay, no problem. So one AS can be included in more than one AS set. So just like the name suggests, AS set is a set of AS. A group of AS. A group of AS called AS set. But one AS can join more than one group. So can be included in more than one AS set. So for example, in the IIX, IIX is the IXP of Indonesia. IIX is the IXP of Indonesia. There are group called local operator, which the group local operator, the AS set local operator, consists of every ISP in Indonesia AS number. So every AS number of ISP in Indonesia will include in the local AS in IXP. So if there is a traffic flow to the ISP, if there is a traffic flow to the ISP, to the IIS, then the IIX will see is it included in local or not. If in local, then it will be redirect to the local ISP. If not, then it will be sent through the internet. So ISZ function to simplify the routing, process. That's why usually created by the network operators. So used to simplify the management. So whenever there are a new ISP emerge, so you are creating a new ISP in Indonesia, you can register to the IIX, apply to IIX, I want to have a connection to the IIX, then your IS number will be included in the IIX local set. So whenever traffic targeted to your client, your ISP client, the IIX will redirect it directly to your networks. No need to travel to the internet. The asset name usually start with AS dash something, but can also have the hierarchical name to avoid conflict with other similarly named set. For example, the administrator of AS of 64500 may create AS set called the AS 64500 AS upstream. So whenever the traffic is not local, it's sent to the AS upstream, where AS upstream include all the AS number that directly connected to this AS. So if the traffic is not local, then send to the AS that directly connected, which is called the upstream. And because any other AS can also have the AS set called upstream, any other AS can also have a set that called upstream. To differentiate between this AS upstream with other AS upstream, we can use the number, the name AS 64500 AS upstream. So this is AS upstream for AS number 64500. Okay, before we continue, any other question about the autonomous system? Any question about the autonomous system? So just like telephone, if you want to call someone in your country, you can directly call the number. If you want to call someone in your city, you can call directly to the number. But if you want to call to someone in other city, you have to call the area code first. So for example, if you want from Surabaya call to Jakarta, you have to give the number 0 to 1, which is the area code of Jakarta. Similar with the mobile phone. If you want to call to the same provider, in this case the same city, from Telkomsel to Telkomsel, for example, you can directly punch the number. But if you want to call from Telkomsel to other provider in other country, then you have to put the country code first. So the 0 in the front of the phone number meaning that local. So if you put the number directly 0811550010, for example, that meaning that this is the number is in local country. The local country actually determined by the provider, because some country is so small that one provider can occupy many country in single number. For example, if you have mobile phone in Italia and in Vatican, they do not need to punch the country code of Vatican. If you're from the Roma, want to call your friend in the Vatican, you do not need to enter the Vatican country code, because it's still provided by the same provider, still in the same country. But if you want to call somebody in other country, you have to punch the country code. So for example, you are from Singapore, want to call Indonesia, you have to put 062 and then followed by the number. Vice versa, if you want to call someone in Singapore from Indonesia, you have to punch the number 065 followed by the country code. Sorry, followed by the number, the phone number. The country code will tell the operator, the telephone operator, that this traffic is not local. Because this traffic is not local, do not need to search. Do not need to search where the target is, because this is not local. So what do we have to do is send it to the upstream. Send it to who the owner of 065. Oh, 065 is belong to the Singtel, for example. Belong to the Singtel, then our provider will send the traffic to the Singtel. Let the Singtel search where the target is. We do not need to bother to search where the target is. So with the AS number, with the AS autonomous system. So whenever the traffic is not local, not inside the AS will not bother to search where the traffic is. Just give it to the upstream, who the owner of this target. Send it to the next neighbor, the next hop, and let the target autonomous system, the target AS, search the target bit whereabouts. AS only need to search the target if the traffic is local. If traffic is local, then the AS will do the routing. Will do the routing where the target is. But if the target is not local, not inside the AS will not bother to search. It just send to the next hop, the next AS. In that sense, the IXP here will provide some degree of locality. So in this case, this is become a local. So every net AS that connected to the IXP will become a local. Group of local is called the regional. So the IXP create a regional. So in this case, the provider, for example, the Indosat or the Telkom can create ASset which is local, regional, and then other. So if the target is regional, it will be redirected to the IXP. If the target is local, it will search where the target whereabouts. If the target is other, then send to the upstream. Send to the next neighborhood. So the Telkom will have entry in its routing table called the AS local. AS local, which is consists, actually AS local is a AS set, which is consists all of the AS number, sorry, not AS local, AS regional, which is actually in AS set, which is consists all AS number that belongs to the regional provider that belongs to the same country. So the Telkom BGP router can redirect the traffic. If it's regional, it can be directed through the IXP, through the IIX, not through the internet. So it can cut cost significantly and it can cut time significantly too. Much faster through the IIX and much cheaper through the IIX instead of through the internet. But the actual delivery is depend on how big bandwidth from one AS to other AS. So for example, right now, we have many complaints. From the people in the ITS. So from the lecturer, from the employee, or from the students that access the system in the ITS from outside ITS using different provider. For example, I'm accessing even though my home is inside the ITS, I'm connected to the internet through the First Media provider, not from Telkom. In the busy time, if I want to access my ITS IC.id, the ITS portal, it's almost impossible. Almost impossible in busy time to access my.its.ic.id. Almost impossible. Busy time, punch my.its.ic.id, enter. Half an hour still blank screen. Half an hour, still blank screen. Almost impossible. Why? Because the bandwidth from the IIX to the Telkom is limited. Only 1 giga. The bandwidth from IIX to the Telkom is only 1 giga. So I already suggest that we complain to the Telkom about the limited bandwidth. And because Telkom hosting so many universities in Indonesia, almost all the universities of Indonesia is connected to the Telkom because the Telkom is government-owned provider. So many public university, government-owned university connect to the Telkom. All of the member of that university will access through the Telkom. And not all the member is connected directly to the Telkom. Many is connected to other provider. And all the member of the university that connected to other provider have to flow their traffic through the IIX. So, for example, in my case, from First Media will flow to the IIX and then through the Telkom. Other from Indosat to IIX, then through the Telkom. Other from XL through the IIX, then to Telkom. And because the bandwidth of the IIX to the Telkom only 1 giga, in busy time, the bandwidth is fully saturated. So everybody that access to University of Indonesia also using the bandwidth to the Telkom. Access to the University of Airlangga also access to the Telkom. Access to the University of Brawijaya access from IIX to the Telkom. Including I that want to access to the ITS, access to the Telkom. And because the bandwidth is fully saturated from people from all over Indonesia to access the Telkom clients, then the bandwidth is fully saturated, so it's almost impossible to access my ITS ACID in the busy time. I can only access on the shoulder time or the low time. For example, after 10 o'clock in the night. After 10 o'clock in the night, no problem. Access my ITS ACID, no problem. Before 5 o'clock in the morning, no problem. But after 8 o'clock, almost impossible. Until 10 or sometimes 12 o'clock. Six o'clock, 5 o'clock can connect, but low response, slow response. After 10 o'clock, no problem at all. After 10 o'clock, no problem at all. But if you are using the Telkomsel, or using the Telkom in the home, for example, no problem at all, anytime. So whenever I want to access, I need to access, for example, I have Zoom meeting. So I have Zoom meet. If I want to held Zoom meeting, I have to access to the ITS Zoom server. I will access through my mobile phone. So I tether to my mobile phone. Because my mobile phone is Telkomsel, no problem. Anytime, no problem. But if I access through my local internet provider from First Media, almost impossible in the busy time. Between 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, almost impossible. But if I tether through my mobile phone, no problem at all, because I'm using Telkomsel. So if you are using Telkomsel or using IndiHome, no problem. No problem. Because we are connected mainly through the Telkom. We only have a backup to the Indosat. So not active. And because the bandwidth from the IIX to the Telkom is only 1 giga, and Telkom have so many clients, mainly is public university in Indonesia, then many people wants to access to the Telkom. Many people wants to access to the Telkom network. So 1 gigabit, even though 1 giga is a big number, but it's not enough to accommodate all the people that wants to access the Telkom's client, including the ITS, the University of Erlangga, University of Indonesia, University of Brawijaya, and so on. I already encourage that the management in ITS talk directly to Telkom to increase their bandwidth connection to the IIX. But Telkom says that the utilization is low. In average, the utilization is low. Yes, because after 7 o'clock, the utilization may be less than 40%. After the 10 o'clock, the utilization is less than 1%. Only 7 or 8 to 12, the utilization can be 100%. So in average, the utilization is still less than 50%, less than 60%. So Telkom says the utilization is still low, so we don't need to increase the bandwidth. But actually, in the peak time, in the busy time, almost impossible to connect from other provider to the MyITS ACID. And Prof. Arif also connected from First Media has the same complaint. Has the same complaint as me. Cannot access the system in ITS in the peak time. But and similar to me, Prof. Arif also used the Telkomsel as a mobile provider. If he tether the connection to his mobile phone, no problem. No problem at all. So the local traffic is okay, but the IXP traffic is not okay. Limited because only 1 gigabit connection from Telkom to the IXP. Okay, any questions? Okay, if there's no question, we'll end this course. We'll continue again next week. Is there any question about the material that I gave last week about the layering? No? Okay. Okay, see you next week.
Oh, okay, thank you.